This video in the series will focus on the setup of competitions in the OneGolf system, including the setup of prize allocations. Starting from your fixtures list, you will notice there's an event for each day. Looking to the right hand side, you'll see that there's a grey trophy. When you hover on this trophy, it'll say Add Competition. Selecting this option will bring you to the competition setup screen. There are a number of parameters that you can fill in here, including a competition name. Moving down the screen, there's the competition type, which you can select the relevant competition type from the list provided. You then have the golf course, which you'll select the golf course relevant to your club, normally being either the GA course, and underneath the course you'll have the tee blocks, which correlate to the course that are selected for both men and women. If you use scorecard printing or scanning, you'll be able to select the competition scorecard relevant to your competition. There'll be the tie resolution, which will normally be countback, and an option to show ties or not show ties. This can be selected by ticking the box. Moving down, you'll have your grade separations. Now these will be set up as templates, so for easy selection moving forward. To set up a new grade template, select the new grade template option. This will open a window which will allow you to input both a name and values for the grade separations. So give the template a name, followed by the values in the template CSV. So what we do here is we start with a lower limit. Here I'm going to start with -5, the value for B grade, which is 10, and then the starting value for C grade, which is 18, and then an upper value. There's then an option to use daily handicap if you wish by ticking the box. If you don't tick this box, it'll use the GA handicap. Select Save will save this new grade template, and then close window. This grade template will now be available to select from the grade separations drop-down box. Moving down the page, there are a number of items which you may or may not use, such as the start and end time for your competition, minimum and maximum handicap requirements for the competition, and minimum and maximum age requirements for the competition. If there are no requirements for this, you can leave these areas blank. Moving to the top right hand side of the screen, we've got the parameters, which the first one is gender, either all ladies or men, which signifies which genders can play in the competition. There's the option for members only to be in the competition, as well as the competition can be set to GolfLink competition yes or no. If it's set to yes, it means you're intending to send the scores to GolfLink. Registration required is also an option for yes or no. This will normally be set to yes. And walk-in competition is an option, which means that if you don't take pre-bookings on your timesheets, you'd set this to yes. Whether or not the competition is a social competition, slope competition will always be yes, and print from kiosk will be set to yes if you print scorecards from your kiosk terminal. Once you're happy with your competition setup, you can select the submit option at the bottom of the screen. Once submit is selected, your competition that you've just set up will now sit in your competition list area. Now that you've set up your competition, if you go back to your fixtures area by selecting the fixtures option in the top left hand corner of the screen, you'll notice that the trophy that used to be grey on the timesheet area is now green, and when hovered on, it'll now say Manage Competitions. Selecting this now will take you to your competition list page, which will show you the competition you've just set up, instead of taking you to the competition setup area. If you wanted to set up a secondary competition on the same day, you can do this from the timesheet itself. So if you go to the timesheet and select the competitions option from the admin menu there, and then select the Add Competition option on the right hand side. The page which appears now is exactly the same as we saw before in terms of your competition setup screen, with the same parameters to put in, such as your competition name, you'll have all the same requirements such as your grade separations, your course information, your tee blocks, your competition scorecard, as well as all of the same parameters on the right hand side, including your gender, your members only, your GolfLink competition requirements, your registration required option, your walking competition option, social competition option, slope competition option, as well as your print from kiosk option as before. Once again, once you're happy with your competition setup, select the submit option at the bottom of the screen. Now when the competition page loads, you'll now notice that there's 2 competitions on the one day. Now these 2 competitions can be single gender comps, mixed gender comps, whatever you like. It's just showing you that you can have more than one competition on the one day. Now if this competition has been set up by accident, you can select the delete option on that competition. Now before you delete anything, it'll always ask you to confirm it. By selecting OK, that competition will now disappear and you'll just have the one competition on the day. Now the way we've just shown you to set up a competition is a slow way. We're now going to show you how to template these options. This can be done by selecting the setup option at the top of the screen. And within setup, we've got an option called competition templates. Now this is where we can template those options that we've just set up before. Now if you want to create a new competition template, we select the new template option, and the page that loads is exactly the same as that competition setup area that we saw before. So we give it the template a name, and then we fill out all the parameters as we did previously in the competition setup area, including your golf course, your tee blocks, your scorecard template, as well as your grade separations. Don't forget to look at your parameters on the right hand side to ensure that the right gender and correct competition parameters are set up for the way that you want your competition and your template to run. Once you're happy with the setup, select the Save Template option at the bottom. The template that you've just set up will now appear in the competition templates list. Now to set up a competition using a competition template is very easy. Simply go back to your fixtures page and select the grey trophy on the right hand side of the event that you want a competition set up for, exactly the same as you did previously. Now instead of filling out all the parameters within the competition as you did previously, what we're going to do is we're going to use a comp template, which can be selected from the drop down list at the top of the page. Select the relevant competition template that you want to use, and then select the load template option. By doing this, it'll pre-fill in all of those details that you set up in your competition template in the screens previous. All of the details from the template have now been applied to the competition. If you wish to change any of these details, you can. Once you're happy with the setup of the competition, you can select the submit option at the bottom of the screen, and as previous, the competition will now appear in your competition list. Prize allocations are used to award prizes to players within competitions who have achieved a certain level of play on the day. Prize allocations vary from club to club to include things like graded winners, nearest the pins, and ball rundowns. To set up the prizes for the competition, navigate to the prizes section for the competition that you wish to set up the prizes for. This is the prizes box that my mouse is currently hovered on. The screen that will appear is what we call the prizes leaderboard, and you'll notice here that this one is blank. It says there's no prizes available because we haven't set any up. So to set these prizes up, select the Edit Prize Rules option at the top right hand corner of the screen. The prizes area has a number of default options already set up for you, including the overall winners section, which can be split up into male and female winners, the place getters area, which might be referred to as the ball rundown at your club, and a great scores section, which allows you to allocate prizes for particular scores on holes. In addition to this, we've got additional prizes down the bottom, which allows you to allocate graded winners. Sweepstakes winners as well is an option which randomly allocates prizes to people in your field. Gross winners, nearest the pins, whole prizes, as well as a proportional down the line option. For this example, I'm going to select some nearest the pin prizes. Now when I select this, it's going to add those as options for me to fill in some details down the bottom of the screen there for you. Now let's set up some prizes for this competition. Now under my prize type, I've got the option here for dollars, but I click on the drop down, I've got balls and other. So if it is say an other prize, what you need to do is put in a description. So this might be for a FootJoy shirt or any sort of prize that it might be. Now if you are going to use say the dollars and balls option, you don't need a description. You just select the prize type from the drop down list and then enter a value in the quantity section just to the right. So for this one I'm doing $25 for the winner and $15 for the runner up. Now once you've set up your values, you've got the option here to include guests, yes or no. I'm going to say yes to mine. And if you've got more than 3 overall winner prizes, you can select the add option, which will add additional options for you. Moving down to the place getters, similar here as in the overall winners section, you've got a prize type, which can be dollars, balls or other. So again, if you selected the other option, you need to put in a description. And in this example, I'm going to select the balls option. So I'm going to give 1 ball to each player in the ball rundown. Now the way we award this can be selected by either best above, top number, or top percentage. For my example here, I'm going to select the best above option. So what that means is everyone above a certain score is going to get a prize down the line for my competition. So I'm going to put best above 32. So that means everyone who has 33 points or more will get a ball. Now you've got an option here for value change. So you can select either increment or decrement. So you may start off with the top player in your ball rundown maybe getting 10 balls. And then if you selected the decrement option and did the change quantity as 1, then the next person down the line would get 9 balls, then 8 balls and so on. You've got the option to include winners, yes or no, so anyone who's won those overall graded winners options, as well as include guests, and whether or not the ball rundown is grade enabled. Now moving on to my great scores section, I'm not going to allocate any prizes for great scores in my competition, but if you want to put in some values there, you may. Now if you don't want to allocate prizes here, you just leave the quantities blank. Now looking at my nearest to pins, I'm going to enter some whole numbers into my nearest to pins area, as well as some prize values. Now similar to your place getters area or overall winners, the drop down box will allow you to select dollars, balls or other as the prize value. Once you're happy with your prize setup, you can select the save option at the bottom of the screen. Once the prizes have been saved, you can select the Go to Prize Leaderboard option at the bottom of the screen as well. And that'll give you a bit of an overview of who's currently winning what prizes. Now, my example here has no one in the competition yet, hence that there's no prizes being allocated to anyone just now. But if I select my competitions option, you'll notice that there's a red ring around my prizes area now, which indicates that prizes have been set up. Please select the next button below to view the next video in the series. The next video will be on competition administration.